In today's video, we're on the hunt for a mysterious leak causing water damage underneath this house, and we're about to get started right now. All right, so we get a call from Joel here, our customer, who's experiencing a musty odor as well as symptoms, itchy eyes, coughing, just not feeling the same. So I go underneath this house, and this is what we found. So here's our customer's house. We're actually going to perform the leak detection at the neighbors. You can see there's a lot of trees and so forth. So we're going to try to get water underneath the walkway of our client's house from this side. All right, so we've got a tight crawl space. We're going to need a shovel to do some digging along the footing. So what we're going to do is just take this old shovel here. I'm going to cut it right here. So we've got a shovel we can work with underneath that crawl space. Hey now. All right, we wanted to take a moment and acknowledge the fans that really dig into our content. And what we've done is we've listed the names. I'm sure we're forgetting a lot of you, but first is Eileen, then we've got Zoe, we've got the crazy car guy, we've got Julie, and Zerk Demerk. So we just want to dedicate this video to you guys, and we appreciate all of the loyal following that you guys have helped us with through this journey of building our content. We dig you. All right, guys, so we both hate going underneath the crawl space. It only needs one of us, so we're going to do our little paper scissors trick here. Leave your comments on who you think's going under, Jim or Dave. You know me, I've got a winning streak here, so here we go. Told ya. Enrique, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I just want to make sure the radios work. I'm going to be going underneath the house right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so here we are underneath the house, and you can see how this is dry here, and then it starts to show signs of water migration from that side area that I showed you. You can see how muddy this dirt is. We gotta crawl back here.
Ready for water, Jim?
No, not yet. I gotta try to figure out how I'm gonna get over here on that other side. There's copper pipes and waste pipes here. Maybe this side. I squeeze over here. Oh, it looks like it's getting muddy right over here. From here to here is only about 10 inches of space. Okay. It's even more wet right here. Look at that. Okay, so now we're on that back wall here, the exterior wall. See how muddy it gets right here. We're gonna dig some holes along this footing here, so when we run water, we've got to detect where this water is coming from. It could be coming from the neighbors. They've got massive root intrusion underneath the ground growing towards this footing here. Come around this side. We'll dig this hole a little deeper. Oh, look at this, guys. So this is a fungus that's growing on the surface of this soil here. Look at that. So this right here, even though it's not considered toxic, but what happens is because of the amount of moisture and fungus, which thrives on moisture, it evaporates, it goes through the subfloor, so inside of your home. And that's when you start growing mold on your furniture. It's getting really wet here. Look at that. This is really bad. Look at that. Let's go back over here more. Oh, it's tight. Oh, shoot. Oh, it's really bad over here. Look at this. Got some. Ooh. Look at that, guys. Oh, completely saturated right here. There's a big hole. It's like a black widow hole. Look at that.
No, God, please, no, no!
Right into here. It almost looks like the water's traveling from this massive root infestation. Wow. And it is really muddy right here. So we're gonna hit the water in this area right here. See if we can get water just coming right out of here. Yeah, here's a black widow. This is what we're dealing with, guys. On the exterior wall, there should be, again, about 18 inches or so, Jim, off the dividing wall.
Yeah, I see it. I'm ready water.
Can you tap on that socket just to confirm? Okay, so you're on the exterior wall then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, keep knocking down. Go towards the front, Jim, about 3 feet, and knock really loud. Okay, go a little bit more. Go another 2 feet and knock. Okay, right there is a big, massive root growing through the footing here, Jimmy. So that's where I want water, in that area. Do you see any gaps or anything?
Yeah, let me see. I'm pumping water into a little area here.
Look at this root right here, growing right in between the foundation wall here. So this is where I want them to run water to see if we get a bunch of water coming through.
Nothing up?
No, nothing yet. We're digging up sort of a hole in the middle so we can hopefully get to see the water come through here. So Jane and Joe were just telling me they spent about $5,000 with a company to run all this duct system to solve their problem, and none of this worked. This is why it's important to find a company that knows how to identify the leak source before you spend any money on any crawl space remediation. But we're going to go ahead and utilize all this duct system to our advantage. We'll show you that a little bit later on how we're going to use this infrastructure to dry this place out. Yes, look at this, guys. Look at this. Hold on. Oh, I'm getting excited. Look at that water just pouring in into this crawl space. So on a heavy rain, this is what they're going to be getting right here. Look at that, coming from the neighbor's root infrastructure. So the water is going to follow the least resistant path, which these roots cause this path to have water migration. Look at, a matter of what, not even a minute, we're getting this amount of water coming in. Okay guys, stop. We got a bunch of water coming in. Stop. Over here too, look. Oh yeah. We got a bunch of water coming in the upper area as well.
Come again, Dave. Come again.
Stop running the water. We're getting it right here, you two guys. Coming up from the, between the subfloor and the concrete foundation. A lot of water. A lot of water. Whoa. Okay, so let's go outside and figure out where they're pumping water in. This is awesome. Great find here. So look at, even as look at how this water is traveling. Again, guys, this is only 2 minutes of water. Look at how much flooding just caused this crawl space here. All right, let's get out of here. Oh. All right, got a pump, guys. I got a good workout in. All right, so show me where that water's coming from, Jim. Okay, so where were you guys pumping water? So here's the side of the house here. You were underneath this area here. Yeah. We were pumping water on the neighbors. Oh, see all these trees? Okay, because we were getting water coming through the foundation too, or between the bottom plate, okay, and this concrete here. Yeah, so we were pumping a bunch of water in this area right here. Okay, but in the neighbor's yard. Yeah, here as well as the neighbor's yard. So I can imagine these roots here are growing. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Is the water migrating once it gets in? Is the water migrating into the... Oh, it's just dumping right in. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is the neighbor's house. Oh yeah, look at this big tree here. I knew it. So these tree roots are growing this way, and then the water is following those roots into the crawl space. So what we're going to do is go in, talk to the customers, let them know what our big findings were, and then more importantly, what the solutions we've got to do to stop this water infiltrating into their home. So they actually caught it in time, because if not, you could have caused some major structural damage, a lot more mold and mildew growing in that soil. So good that we found it. So I'm in the corner here. You can see that root
This
See,
is underneath our.
yeah, I'm underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm underneath your bedroom, where the dividing wall is and your master exterior wall meet. And this is what I found.
That water just pouring in.
Oh wow.
So the roots growing in from here.
Oh my God.
See how much water?
Oh my God.
Look at that.
Oh my God. Holy crap.
This path to
All right, so now we're on our second mysterious leak that's affecting the garage area. We're gonna go ahead and start running water in the neighbors again, but about 25 feet forward towards the front of the house to see if we can activate that mysterious leak that they've been dealing with for years now. So they did help us with the clue, and they said it does start to leak in the garage after about 20 minutes of rain. So we've been running water, in fact, a high amount of water pressure into that ground for about 10 minutes. So let's go inside and see if we can see water. We getting water, Enrique?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Yeah, look at this water right here. That's why it's important to open these walls up. The other clue is you can see the amount of water in this baseboard, which was set like this. So that's a good clue how water is migrating. Most of it's right here, so this is why we wanted to get to this corner here, and sure enough, we got it. Oh, look at right here too. It's just pouring in. Look at the water. Just coming in. Look at this, guys. And then it starts to weep out from the wall here. Bam! So the key to finding water leaks from rain is finding the lowest points and then putting those pieces together. That's the ticket. So in this case, what's happening is those roots are heading towards our client's house, causing a least path of resistance for that water. And then what's happening is because their foundation is compromised, that water is seeping through, especially with those hard, constant rains. That was the secret here to determining exactly where that leak is. And so now they're gonna have no choice but to dig up that side, cut those roots, and then do a very aggressive waterproofing membrane and even salts to deflect future root intrusion as well. We get calls all the time, especially when it rains. There's not a lot of people out there that can find rain leaks because they call their roofers, they'll call plumbers, they'll call all kinds of different types of contractors, and they don't specialize in it. So if you're dealing with water intrusion when it rains, you've got to hire the right people that are going to guarantee that detection, because the last thing you want to do is start spending money on repairs of roof and siding and stucco and waterproofing if that is not the case. A lot of people make assumptions, and you just can't make any assumptions when it comes to water intrusion in a crawl space or inside of a home during a rain. Speaking of rain and rainwater, a lot of times we see this channel drain. And the problem with this is that during these very hard rains that we get, this is not enough to support a hard rain. So if you're gonna do this channel drain, which is great, I would go with the 6 or 12 inch, go as wide as you can. That'll take care of the volume of water, especially if you're dealing with water intrusion in a garage like this. So just wanted to offer that tip. Also too, you wanna make sure that your drains, your area drains, always keep these clear so water can flow out. We see a lot of times the debris gets caught up. So after every rain, we encourage you to maintain your area drains. This drain right here is not the best, but it's allowing a little bit of water here. So a lot of people in this type of situation would have given up because the focus would have been on the impacted property, which is our customers. So you have to kind of think outside the box when you're dealing with these rain leak detections. And I'm so glad that we had access to the neighbors here, because all along, that was the issue. All right, guys, day 2. The clients opted for our waterproofing, so we have a lot of work ahead of us. The team went ahead yesterday, went underneath the crawl space, bagged and disposed all of the moisture soil. The topsoil, yeah, here, check it out. So today we're gonna be putting in some of our dry down equipment and get prepared to really dry down that crawl space. But check out all the bags that the guys removed so far. So that small shovel came in handy. What feels good about this project is once you define and zone in on exactly where the breaches are, now you're not wasting time, money, and energy on trying to make these assumptions of repairs and patching, things like that. So now we know exactly how to execute, and once that's executed, we do another re-water test to determine that we've accomplished it. So these are the proper steps that we really want to teach you guys here today on water intrusion and leak detection. All right, so we're building a containment so we can apply all of our dry down equipment and not affect the breathing space. Super important tip if you're a homeowner and you have these crawl space vents like this. Sometimes the water will cascade down the stucco, then enter in here, collect inside here, and then dump into your crawl space. So this is a really important tip that I wanted to offer to protect your home. Another source of water intrusion underneath the crawl space is sprinklers. Sprinklers that are super close and that spray towards the house. A lot of times the water will seep into these vents, or if the concrete foundation is compromised, day-to-day watering will allow the water to get underneath that crawl space, giving you a musty odor inside the house. Also important is cable lines that are penetrating through the walls. Pipes as well. Make sure that they get sealed off because again, water cascades down, enters into the cable, and then resulting in water damage underneath your crawl space. So we're gonna get everything dry underneath that crawl space, and then we're gonna apply our antimicrobial just to get any sort of particulates or mold that's growing on the wood from this water damage that'll really neutralize that crawl space. All right, it's gonna get suited up. We'll set up that equipment, get this crawl space all dried out. I'm actually sore from all that crawling. Feel it in my pecs. Bounce, 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 bounce. La cucaracha no puede caminar porque la falta una pata para caminar. La cucaracha no puede caminar. All right, David, we gotta get to it. You're right. Come on. You're right. Showing his pecs like that, you guys. Put in the comments if you thought that was inappropriate. 53, not bad, right? Leave your comments. La cucaracha no puede caminar. Okay, so I got creative. We made a plastic tube over this air mover here.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
So this is what I'm going to connect to the air duct system that I showed you. We're going to utilize that infrastructure, blow this air throughout so we can displace a lot of air throughout that crawl space, especially on this back side here. Okay, so this equipment doesn't fit underneath this pipe, so we're going to have to dig a hole to push our equipment underneath here. Head over here where the master bedroom is. Okay, so can't go any further here, but this is right where the master bedroom is. Take this fan on. Yeah. All right, so we have this air mover and this plastic that we built. It's going to inject the air straight back here because we can't get this underneath this pipe here. So now that all the dry down equipment is set up, we're gonna allow this to run 3 to 7 days to bone dry this crawl space. All right, so here's the date. We're gonna be demoing all of this out. This is gonna be a tight squeeze here to demo, but it's gotta get done. Dave's getting the area all set up here so we can set a ram board and protect this concrete because we're gonna do a lot of hauling away, demoing. The last thing we wanna do is attract mud and scratch this finished concrete. Put this paper up here so as we're jackhammering, it doesn't nick the side of the house. So it's just extra added protection. Plus, when we're using our waterproofing materials, it won't stain this nice Santa Barbara finish. So we're getting all of that concrete out of there. We're going to start excavating down in preparation of all that waterproofing. I see that they buried the weep screed So that's not good right there. It's definitely a construction defect there. So you can see already how important it is to dig down, remove the concrete, a lot of work, and get down into the actual expose the footing in order to waterproof. That is the most critical part in literally water intrusion. You've got to be able to waterproof from the outside. A lot of times we see people try to do it from the inside to alleviate this entire type of scope here. And yes, it's a lot of work, but it's the right and proper way to do it. Damn, dude. Oh yeah, here's the hole right here. This is the hole. That's the hole where the roots are. Right here. Going right underneath the house. All right, so remember when I was underneath the house and showed you all that water coming through? Right here. Put my hand right in here and that's going right inside the crawl space. Massive roots. Look at this. Look at that. That was growing right in here. All right, super important when you're hiring a waterproofing company, especially on a foundation, it gets super, super clean. All this dirt gets cleaned up and the right membrane material gets applied on the surface. You don't want any sort of rolled on waterproofing liquid or tar material, because over time the soil and the elements is just gonna deteriorate that. It's not gonna stop those roots either. All right guys, so we've got all the rock out, we've trenched and we've exposed the foundation. You can see here, and then right where that big root ball was that went inside, we took our rapid set waterproofing material, completely waterproof this here, and then now we're gonna take our waterproofing membrane over that. So on this side right here, you can see our waterproofing, and then we'll add some drainage here as well. And this will be completely watertight, no more water intrusion in that garage as well as the crawl space. This is how much dirt we trenched out. And then we use the high strength mix 4500 psi. So this really adheres, and then once we apply this into the footing, then we apply our waterproofing membrane over that. So you can see how the process is: leak detection, determine where the leaks are coming from. Once those have been identified, then it's the protocol in the place for waterproofing. So really important to identify where the leak source is, and then that sets the protocol for the mitigation and the waterproofing. All right, so we're in our containment. We inspected the crawl space and we are bone dry. So the equipment, the dry down equipment really did a great job by drying. So now we're gonna go ahead and take down this containment, get everything cleaned up, take our equipment back. We're good to go here. So what we're gonna do around the pull equipment is just add a nice concrete base all the way around here. That'll prevent roots from coming through, and then we'll waterproof that as well. All right, so just a few more days, guys. We've got the inside completely dry. Now we're working on the outside. We're gonna add some drainage. The concrete should be poured here in the next few days, and we're gonna wrap this job up, man. Things are looking good though, for sure. So I wanted to bring you up to date here. We've got all of the waterproofing. You can see here, we've got the waterproofing all taken care of. We've got this as extra protection here. We also put in some salts, and we're using a compactor. So we've got concrete, waterproofing, all kinds of waterproofing membrane and materials there, guys. Water is not going to get back underneath that driveway. So this root right here, guys, this one right here was right where the garage was. This is why we have this indentation here, because a massive root trunk here was right here, and that was impacting the footing, allowing the water inside that garage. That's why it's super important to conduct a proper water test, and that will determine the protocol. In this case, removing the trunks, removing the roots, getting to the actual source gave us the protocol to put into place, resulting in a forever solution that no water will ever go back inside this crawl space. All right, you can see our drain has been installed. All right, so we're applying our concrete. Job is completely finished. We're going to show you the end results here, wrapping the job up. We're good to go. So let's go take a look. So if you remember, all of this had our ram board and all our dirt. That's all cleaned up. And there's the new concrete. We also used a very high dense caulking there. So there's the brand new concrete all the way down. So there's definitely no more water intrusion underneath this crawl space. Well, guys, another successful job. Leave the comments down below. Love to hear what you'd have to say. Anything different that you would have done on this job? Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you like this video. And we'll see you on the next one.